Now, if you've been following this channel, you will know that I typically create content based around Donald Trump and the cult of Maga. But for my audience that's overseas, that's not right here in the UK, I want to show you guys that we have a Donald Trump wannabe by the name of Nigel Farage right here in the UK, and the cult of Maga is coming right here to the UK, but it's just called Reform. In this video, we are going to see a British reporter, Lewis Goodall, have a conversation with a Reform cult member who has so much faith in Nigel Farage, he decided to join his party. Let's watch the video in full, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts towards the end.
And when did you join Reform, John?
A year ago.
Right. And what made you do that?
Because I like Nigel Farage and I like their policies.
And what in particular? Which policies do you like?
All of them. Like that debate that debate you had with Zia Youssef.
Yeah.
Now, I'll explain why.
Go on.
That debate it was a great debate. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
But I would believe him rather than you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. This is the problem that the two main parties have got. Yeah. Trust has headed off into the sunset. It's gone.
But
Please believe me.
I don't disbelieve you, John, but then why do you trust Farage and what Zia Youssef was saying? Because honestly, I mean, you can believe him if you like, and that's entirely your prerogative, but I am telling you as a matter of objective fact, we don't spend £7 billion on DEI. We just don't. Don't.
You say we don't.
It's objectively...
It's a problem, isn't it? When people don't trust you, and they trust them.
Well, that's like saying,
lean to them.
Okay, so if Zia Youssef said that Jupiter had exploded, you would believe him, but it hasn't. Objective fact does matter, though, John.
Or you, if you said the sun was going to shine tomorrow.
So you wouldn't?
If
You
Reform
wouldn't?
said it would, I'd trust them.
So you what? Sorry. So let me get it straight.
Look,
John, let me just focus on that for a second. So if Keir Starmer gets up and says the sun's going to rise tomorrow, you won't believe him.
No.
Even though the
Nigel
sun has
Farage
risen
did,
every day for the past millions of years.
Yes, I'd say there's something dodgy about that. But look, take Robert Jenrick, for example.
I don't know where to go with that, John, I have to say.
Take Robert Jenrick, for example. Listen to him now. He speaks Reform. Everything he says, you'd think Reform voters would go, yeah, go on, Robert. You're fantastic. We're going to be voting for you. Do you know what we say? We say, Robert, if you truly believe that, if you really believe in your heart what you're saying, leave and come and join Reform. Otherwise, jog on. We don't trust you, we don't believe you, and we are not going to vote for you.
I understand that trust has declined in politics. I understand it's declined in the media. But you would accept, wouldn't you? Let's just try and get to the sort of basics of this. Objective facts do exist. Facts exist, right? You accept that?
Of course they do.
In which case, why would you outsource all of your critical faculties to one man and one party and say, well, I would believe anything that he and they say and never believe what someone else says at any time? Why would you do that?
Because I've told you.
But that's illogical.
It's called trust.
But that's religious. I mean, that's John. That's religious.
Word,
that's religious. I mean, that's like saying I only trust one church.
Lewis, it's such a small word, but it means so much. We don't like being held in contempt by these politicians. We're not going to stand for it, and they're all going to go. We're going to drain the swamp. Nigel Farage will be the next Prime Minister. I promise you.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, John. I'm just trying to understand why it is that as a matter of a blanket policy, you would say that one man must be right about everything and no other man or woman can ever be right about anything. That's just crazy.
I didn't say no other. I just said I would trust them over them.
So you're saying that you would... So is it a matter of trust or is it a matter of saying that those people can never be right?
It's a matter of believing who really has your best interest at heart. That's what it's a matter of.
But so even you wouldn't care if it turned out... Let's just humour me here and say I am right about DEI, which I am. But just humour me.
No, you're not.
Well, okay. Well, let's just humour me for the sake of argument. Let's just imagine that I am. And it turned out that for whatever reason, for political reasons, Farage and Youssef and so on were wrong about it. Maybe they believed it, but they were wrong. It wouldn't bother you that they'd come along and said we can save 7 billion and it turns out we can only save 27 million?
No, I think they'll save more than 27 million.
But how can they when we don't spend more than that?
But that's what you say.
But John, it's not just what I say, it's just a matter of fact. That is what the central government spends on it.
Well, that's a matter of fact, according
7
to
billion
you,
is a
not to
huge
them.
amount of money. I mean, that's like kind of 20% of the defence budget.
Yeah.
You really think we spend that on DEI?
No, I think we spend more than that, and I think it'd be better spent on giving our pensioners a heating allowance and things like that. And can I just say, DDI, yeah, we've got a fantastic candidate elected in Runcorn. Absolutely first class, incredibly good candidate. Not because she was a woman, or because she was black, or because she was white, because she was the best person for the job.
Yeah, okay.
And that's exactly how it should be.
Nigel
across
Farage,
the
of course,
board.
John, famously, Nigel Farage, the thing that Farage is most associated with, and not Reform, but, you know, UKIP and then the Brexit Party were most associated with, were Brexit. Do you think that Farage was right about everything with regards to Brexit?
Absolutely.
Everything?
Oh, yeah, it was suffocating.
Well,
I'm
how's the
so
economy
glad
doing
to
then?
be
I mean,
free.
how's the economy? I mean, we were promised that we'd get all these trade deals and we'd be able to sort of revolutionise the economy and the economy would grow gangbusters. I mean, what happened to all that? He wasn't
Lewis,
right about that, was he?
Yes, he was. Lewis,
but he
we've
wasn't.
we've never had a truly Brexit government. But just wait and see.
But
We're going to have one next
what
time
would we
round,
have
and
had?
You're going to love it, Lewis. You're
John,
going to love it, honestly.
well, maybe I will. But John, what would just finally, because I've got to go to the news. What if we'd had a Brexit government? You said we never had a Brexit government, even under Boris Johnson. What would they have done?
Boris
How would
Johnson?
Brexit have been different? How would it have been different? How?
Well, I can't believe you just mentioned Boris Johnson, the man who we elected to stop illegal immigration and cut legal
Sure.
immigration, who tripled it.
But how? I'm
Please
just asking,
don't mention
structurally
him.
speaking, how would Brexit have been different?
It will be different.
But how
You
would it
haven't
have
seen
been different?
anything yet.
But how?
You
How?
haven't
How
seen
will
it.
it be
Well-
different? How? What will we do differently?
All I can say to you is wait until Nigel and Richard and the men and the women of Reform are in Downing Street, and you will see just how different it will be.
But can you just name just
So guys, I just wanted to just show you guys that video, show you that clip. Plain and simply because look, Trumpism is growing around the world. We've seen it for a very long time. And one of the things that I've always known since I've been very young is that things will happen in America and then slowly but surely it will make its way over here to the UK. And if you see what it is that Nigel Farage is doing, is he is taking the Donald Trump playbook and he's trying to open that up right here in the UK. You can see it just by the simple things that he's speaking about. You can see now he's coming over here and trying to make a big thing out of DEI. You know, you can see that he's spreading misinformation. And his followers are listening to that misinformation and believing it, even though it's fundamentally, factually not true. Hence the reason as to why when Lewis Goodall pressed, I think, is it John, on the actual fact that we don't spend that amount of money on DEI, John wasn't trying to hear what it is that he had to say regardless. Now, just to give you guys overseas just a bit of context about who Nigel Farage is, this is an individual who has a series of failures behind him. That's all that this guy's done. Let me run you guys through some of the failings that it is that Nigel Farage has had. So Farage has tried many times to win a seat in the UK Parliament, but he failed repeatedly up until obviously recently. But he's failed multiple times. He lost the South Thanet seat in 2015, and then he briefly quit UKIP and then decided to change his mind at the last minute. He's led several parties, the UKIP party, the Brexit party, and now Reform UK. But all of them have just been mixed with a load of chaos. Reform, one of their main people, broke off and is now going around on doing media tours, speaking bad about Nigel. And a lot of his parties often kind of feel like it's about him as an individual, not about strong organization. And this video backs up that claim. The individual said that he joined Reform. Why? Because of Nigel Farage. That's the reason why he joined Reform. Okay, not because of their policies, not because of what it is that they can actually do, because the reality is he doesn't even know probably the majority of what it is that they speak about. Nigel Farage has made multiple controversial statements about immigrants, minorities, and some of his comments have been seen as racist or xenophobic. Like, this is an individual who has been embroiled with failure everywhere he goes. And this is now an individual that John from the UK wants to follow. Guys, let me know your guys' thoughts, especially you guys that are overseas out there in the States. Let me know your guys' thoughts in and let us know, how do you think that we should, as Brits, should deal with, you know, the Donald Trump wannabe Nigel Farage and his rise that's coming here in the UK? Do I think Reform will get into power in the next general election? Number one, no. Number two, there's a couple of years yet before that. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. How should us Brits deal with that? And let me know your guys' thoughts about John and what it is that John had to say in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate you guys. While you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the thumbs up so you get you can push this video in front of as many people, and turn on the bell notification so that you will get updated every single time you upload a brand new video. I appreciate you guys, and I will most definitely see you guys in the next one.